Hey everyone, bloodmako here, and this is my run for the Lufenia Plus event, the Lighthouse Lufenia Plus. So what you're seeing right here is me just failing because I didn't time my turn well enough, and basically I killed the ads and he was immediately beast-stunned, so he did a move and then resummoned the ads again. And yeah, I decided to, I'm not going to waste any time trying it then, because I have to kill the ads again, and that took quite a few turns really at the initial stage of the fight. So I just restarted, and then I realized that B actually doesn't target Zac, so Zac can't get his chain slash combo, the follow-up attack. He can't get the increased potency from his S1, S2, in fact all his skills I think. He's that unique increased damage when people are targeting him, that's it. So I decided to go with Cloud Darkness, Buds and Agrias. Everybody will be using her, I'm sure. It's either her or someone that can paralyze or can confuse, one of them. And the whole reason why you want that to happen is basically because you don't be taking a turn. Okay, another thing that you will notice is that the ads actually puts a frame debuff on Buds, and I think he was the only one that received this debuff. So what this debuff do is actually quite similar to one of the previous bosses that we fought. I can't remember exactly which boss, but basically at stage 1, I believe it was the Transcendent stage. So at stage 1, when you first receive the first debuff, you only get Brave Sap Damage, and any subsequent stacks after that you will get HP Sap as well. And it's quite significant because apparently Buds went all the way down to 1 HP. Agrias HP regen could not keep up with the HP Sap damage. So another thing that if it's possible you guys should try to avoid is letting B take too many turns. As you can see, he killed them and gave them I believe Brave Regen and one more buff. I'm not exactly sure what it was. And 1 frame buff. Okay, so if possible you might want to not let B take too many turns. And that's the reason why. You want them buffing both the ads and himself. And that's actually one of the reasons why I ran Diablos instead of Ramuh, because while Ramuh's paralyze would work really well here, I wanted to just remove the buffs so that I can have more debuff slot. Not that it matters, you'll see later on, but yeah. So right, I believe I already used one of Agrias C65 to guarantee a paralysis on the ads. And the reason why is very simple. I don't want them to take too many turns. Basically, look, they're both targeting Buds, and this is my friend support Buds, so I rather him not take any HP damage, so I don't have to worry about healing me up later on. So right here, I was actually contemplating, should I actually use Cloud Darkness Burst Plus, or should I just do any other skill with Cloud Darkness? And I opted to use her EX instead of her Burst Plus. Is basically because I want to get Buds stacked up first, and yeah, that's why. So unluckily C would still have to go because of, I don't know why the turns were so close to each other. And yeah, he did not use his Dread Plus, I believe. That was the skill that actually puts the debuff on my Buds at least. So yeah, that was kind of lucky. And the reason why you're seeing so much Sap going on is basically because I put Faris Refined Sphere on Agrias. And if you're not running a Faris call, it could be due to slots, debuff slots. It could be due to you want to run a more offensive call, then yeah, I would recommend that you put that on Agrias. So right here, burst, or rather use the burst plus instant skill at least, and I was hoping that you will actually finish the ads off, but they still had some ways to go, yeah. So B managed to take another turn, which was very unlucky. I believe this was the one, yeah, he healed the ads again. There we go, speed up, so maybe that's why the ads went so often. So the only worry that I had was that they might actually kill one of my party members, because we saw that they had the chance to kill before the poison kicked in. So yeah, that was something I was kind of worried of. So the nice thing about Burst Plus is that Cloud of Darkness burst effect is up for 8 turns, and it doesn't matter as much that she's taking so many turns in a row, because of all the breaks at least. So yeah, I opted to use more of her S1 skill, basically because I was actually trying to save her, what was it called? Zero form, the laser beam, the zero form laser beam basically. I wanted to save it for the boss, because I noticed that the boss is actually coming up. Look at the turn order at least. B is actually going to come up. See, if I had not used the Kurasame core, then basically what I showed at the beginning of the video would happen again. B would just instantly take a turn, and then I would miss my chance to Oma stun him effectively. So right here I didn't really have a choice other than summoning. I had to use Agres Confuse, the guaranteed Confuse, and just instantly break him with a Jack call. So now that the Faris core, the Agres LD Confuse is gone, I would have to first of all use her LD and then reapply the guaranteed Confuse. Right here, I was actually trying to see if it was possible to delay Butts any further, but yeah, there's no slow turn rate, there's only high turn rate, so decided to opt for his LD, because I believe it's that, and maybe his double hand, and maybe his EX obviously, is the few attacks that will not. In fact, I was just trying to avoid using the missile, because that is a high turn rate. On hindsight, maybe I should have done a double hand, because his buff wore off, but it doesn't seem to really affect the team much. They are still hitting max Brave battery at least, so yeah. So you guys saw that right here I actually purposely didn't use Cloud of Darkness zero form. It's basically because I was looking at his health and I was kind of worried that it might push him at the 79% threshold, and then it might cause him to take a turn, and then I'll be forced to restart the game because I don't want to deal with the ads anymore. So yeah, that's the reason why I didn't use the zero form. I believe this was the... not exactly sure why I didn't burst immediately with Butts, but right, I was actually saving it for when the boss actually hits 59%. That is when the orb will reappear again. It actually disappears at 79%, so I didn't really need the damage now. In terms of turn count, I am pretty safe. So yeah, I didn't need the boss to take a turn, or rather, I didn't need the battery right now. I will need it later on when it really becomes a DPS race. So you notice his turn walked immediately in front, and then the Confuse kicked in and he couldn't take a turn, and yeah, the orb also disappeared. So this is why I didn't burst with Butts yet. I'm actually saving it for when it's much closer to the 59%. That is also when I will actually use my burst. Basically because now, the burst effect is still up. I don't need to reapply it yet. Granted, I can, and this will still go on in the burst sequence, but I rather maintain it now than Oh sorry, I rather use it now than go into the burst when I really need the damage later on. Because, like I was saying, it was really tight in terms of the orb count. Not the turn count, but more of the orb count. So right here, he's at 69%, slightly higher than that before Bart's burst. I believe Bart's burst wasn't doing much anyway. But yeah, so burst with Bart's, well, he's burst plus at least, and then again you might be saying, why not burst slightly later? You know, now the boss is still at what was it, 60 something percent? Why not burst when he's closer to 59? And then I will say that, oh, basically I want to get the Bart stacks up. And right then you question me right here, why not use his C65 into his burst, to get the burst stacks to 3 as soon as possible. And the reason why I'm doing that is basically because I do not want to waste, in a sense, you know. I rather slowly get Bart's 3 stacks up slower and be able to do more damage. Of course, then right here it will be a perfect time for me to burst actually to maintain a 10 stacks. But yeah, kind of a waste that I didn't see 65 with Bart's there, but oh well, you know, doesn't really matter. I believe right here I use his EX just to maintain the buff, his overhead buff. Not really overhead, his unique buff, yeah, that's the word for it. And yep, applied faded molly for the additional 10% HP damage up, I believe. So yeah, that's actually another one of the reasons why I didn't burst immediately with Cloud Darkness. I wanted to get Aggress HP damage up so that I can do even more damage. Now if you are lucky with the way your turn count was at the very beginning when the boss first appeared, then you should have at least one more stack of faded molly, or rather one more faded molly that you can use. Right here I didn't have any more, so you will notice later on in the fight I had to rely on RNG to apply a paralyze on the boss, and thankfully it landed, but the boss didn't take a turn anyway, so that was more of a precaution, just in case, you know. Right here I was actually deciding what to do, which what can I do to maximize my damage in this burst sequence. And something interesting is that now I think it's with the rework, every time Cloud Darkness uses a skill, doesn't matter whether she breaks the enemy or not, she will gain 1 stack of her unique overhead buff. So yeah, using the two skills, her EX and her S1, I managed to get another 0 form, and yeah, really maximize my damage here. So the reason why I'm delaying this boss into Oblivion is basically because I know that his turn will come back up immediately after this burst ends, or rather close to immediate. Look at it, 36%. Yeah, immediately, I'm sorry. He will pop, yes, his turn again when at the 39% mark, and that's the last time that will happen, so you don't have to worry about it anymore after this. Unless he takes a turn, that's where you might have issue again. So right here for me, it becomes a DPS race because I cannot let the boss take another turn, basically cause I cannot deal with not really I cannot deal with the ads, but more of I cannot I didn't want to deal with the ads, first of all, and I do not have any more debuffs that I can reapply on the boss. So if I prolong the fight, then there's a chance that I might not be able to kill the boss, basically. So 29% mark, Bugs is going. Not really an issue right here. I was considering letting the boss take a turn so that the orb will increase, basically because of the poison from Agrias. And I was looking at it and I was like considering, should I really let him go for it? And then I realized that if he actually goes for it, I will not. I have nothing that can you know, really stop him from summoning the ads again. So this was actually really lucky. I believe silence was it silence that was up? I believe silence was up. So I was actually considering testing the theory that he could not summon with silence up. And I didn't manage to test it, obviously, because Cloud Darkness broke the boss into pushing the boss turns further back. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't take this race. You know, maybe I should play safe. Just try and finish this fight, and then see if you know, instead of just trying to rely on the fact that silence will actually cause the boss to not resummon the ads. So here is where I was rolling for the paralyze, and got really lucky. Got it on the first try. On the off chance that I was not able to get the paralysis, then obviously I will spam more with aggress. And if possible, I would recommend that you actually save one of your guaranteed paralyze for this part of the stage. So yeah, guys, at this part of the stage, like I was saying earlier, it's basically just a DPS race. A mistake that I made was I was actually thinking that, you know, I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna let the boss take a turn because I have the paralysis in the back already, right? So I don't really have to like I can afford to let the boss take a turn. The only issue is that some of my debuffs on the boss will actually drop off. So yeah, that was one of the issues that I was deciding like what I should do. Whether I should let the boss take a turn or should I just delay him. I should have just stuck to one. Basically, if I was going to let the boss take a turn, just let the boss take a turn. Or just delay him and do as much damage as possible, which is what I think I should have done. I had 2 0 form particle ready to go, you know. I should have just done that. That was basically 3 HP dump, so it wouldn't be as close as it should be. But yeah, you know, I managed to finish it in the end, you know. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the win. I'm not gonna try this again. This is it for me, you know. This stage is difficult. I can see why it's difficult, but it is more annoying if you are bringing a team like mine. Yeah. So yeah, guys. I wish you guys all the best. I hope you guys are also able to clear this. The rewards are quite nice, you know, gems and tickets. But yeah. And I'll see you guys in the next one.